We got further details at a lot more games at Summerfest, but Perfect Dark, we got nothing. So turn the volume up, let's talk about it. The game was originally being developed by a company called The Initiative. It was a Microsoft studio that was opened in 2018. And it was pretty much, it looked like it was just really made for the Perfect Dark revival. And I know what you're saying, 2018, that's a long time ago. And that is a long time ago. It was partnering with another studio. I think they were called Certain Affinity, and they were involved in development as well, but both studios couldn't get along. So they split ways around COVID time. It's not exactly sure when they did split ways presenting the game. It was originally going to be on Unreal Engine 4, and those days have obviously been and gone for any sort of release window on that engine. They then in 2021 partnered with Crystal Dynamics. You might know them from any Tomb Raider game past the first 6, so anything that's like Tomb Raider Legend onwards, I think like late noughties. And the last game that they released completely was Marvel Avengers, so yeah, it was a live for service game that I think it's completely removed from stores. I don't think you can buy it anymore. So they definitely got handed the bag there. It didn't go well. I did play that game, wasn't too much to it. Since then, they've released, I think, 2 Tomb Raider remasters, and that's about it. The things that I can realize that they're working on now, there might be other things going on. They did the old Gex games and those sort of things, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a remaster there at some point. But it's a new Perfect Dark game, and a new Tomb Raider game is looking to be announced pretty shortly. So those are the 2 things that they're doing. Crystal Dynamics has about 250 staff. It might be a little bit more now. And the Initiative has about 50 odd. So it should give you a bit of scope of who's working on the game. In 2023, it was announced that the game was about 2 or 3 years away, or leaked that it was about 2 or 3 years away, and it was in pre-production. That would probably, I would say that's not the case. Seeing that we're in 2025, there's now 2 years and we got absolutely nothing. Even if it was coming out in the next year, you would have thought they definitely would have been at Summerfest, or there'd be some rumors or something to gear up for something here, but it just hasn't really happened. A lot of the things that have come up is poor management. The 2 other things that did throw spanners into the works was Embracer Group in 2022 bought Crystal Dynamics. And they let a fair few staff go. Originally, I think it was only 11, and they were like marketing staff. But since then, they've had 2 different rounds of layoffs, including very recently, they've let go of 17 people. And just looking through their Glassdoor and company reviews, it's a lot of people complaining about leadership and management and how the development cycle for ideas takes forever, and to get anything through takes a long time. A lot of developers look like they've come and gone. That was the case beforehand as well, before the pandemic and after the pandemic. It looks like both places, the Initiative and Crystal Dynamics, can't seem to hold good staff. They seem to go on and do other things. So that probably lends itself to why this game has been an absolute development hell for so long. The last game that I know that has had this kind of development cycle with a bunch of people leaving and complaining about leadership management was Mind's Eye. So let's hope it's nothing like that. But that was a complete cluster F of a game. And the whole way through, if you look at side by side the company reviews with the amount of them that they were, and it's not new stuff. This is all dating back to like 2022, 2023, 2024. It's almost side by side the same complaints. And then I looked at maybe some other like better run developer groups, and yeah, they didn't seem to have the same amount of bad reviews. There was obviously 1 or 2. You're going to get the odd disgruntled employee that isn't happy that they got let go. But it just seems that in this case, there's a lot of staff that have seemed to let go and just say that creativity's dead. The development cycle is way too long for new ideas. And leadership's just all over the shop. And the Initiative itself has had a bit of a bad run with working with others, whether that be their fault or the other studio that comes in to work with them. So that's pretty much it. The only bit of news that we've got in the last year is the actor Alex Wilton Regan is the voice of Joan Dark. That's probably the only bit of news that has come through. She's voiced a few other things in Assassin's Creed, Dragon Age, Mass Effect 3. So pretty good voice actor over there. If you Googled her and you saw her face, you'd be like, oh, I know what she looks like. So like, she's been in a few things. The interesting thing about that is she did say that some of her projects that she's working on now will be released this year. I don't think this is Perfect Dark, just because I think that was published about 2 or 3 months ago, and now we're kind of like mid-June, and I just feel like if that Perfect Dark game was coming out this year, it would be announced by now that there's that window. You hold out a little bit of hope. It could be like a random shadow drop, but I would indicate that it might not be the best game if they're doing that. But yeah, I really think this game is well behind everything. Just looking at the staff turnover recently too, it just seems like there's still a lot of turmoil in place, and usually when there's that inside of businesses, not necessarily video game companies, just all businesses, whenever there's a huge amount of turnover and there's just a lot of people unhappy, project deadlines blow out. That's the first thing that happens, is the deadlines seem to blow out. And this game seems to have done that maybe 2 or 3 times now. I mean, 2018 to now, that's a long time to have a game going. That's 7-8 years almost. So yeah, and that's everything I could find on the game outside of the trailer to now. It just seems to be like a lot of unhappy staff at these studios. The thing I will mention is Embracer Group, who bought Crystal Dynamics, isn't doing that great at the moment. They've had a fair few years of net income loss. And they've closed down a fair few of the studios that they own. They've let go a lot of people, and obviously this year Crystal Dynamics let go of 17 people. So they're probably watching the purse strings of Crystal Dynamics pretty closely. And I think the other thing with this is, like, when you are a big giant conglomerate, like Crystal Dynamics is just a line on an Excel spreadsheet, and it's very easy to just be like, this needs to be at this line, and then people just need to go. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game doesn't come out this year or even next. This might be a longer process, just looking at the back end of everything. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's just a bunch of unhappy people and that have left, and they still had a core group of developers that were able to build everything together. But coming from the business world, this just lends itself to be that there's a lot of issues at play here. Especially like one development pool only has 50 staff in total. The other one is 250, and they would have been working on Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider remasters games, and then a little bit of Marvel Avengers as well. Back when obviously this first was announced, so it's not like all of them are just working on Perfect Dark. So yeah, I'm worried that this is going to take a while, and I think the game, if it's not out soonish, it kind of blows out again. Like you kind of like, oh well, Unreal Engine 5 doesn't really work anymore, or what they planned on doing is now, what would have worked in say 2024 or 2022 even, might not work in 2026. It might not work in 2027. So we'll see. I'm high on this game. I've started going back to play the old Perfect Dark games, more the first one, not the second one. Although I did install it, I think I might hate myself. Just to see if it was as bad as I remember. But yeah. Anyway, if it didn't make it this far, I know it's very heavy with business stuff. But I just figured I'd make a video on it. I just found there was no one really talking about Perfect Dark at all, so I was just like, you know what? I'll make a quick video on it. Just maybe update people and loop people in that, hey, that these things are going on. Comment down below if you found any of it interesting. If you didn't make it this far, then hit the subscribe button, because I did a bit of work on this one. Like, I had to go through investor reports, which is just the worst thing in the world. Any time that you need to be in investor meetings and investor reports, for like Embracer Group, to see if there was like anything, any nuggets in there to indicate there's a game coming out that would help with their revenue. I couldn't see anything there from Embracer that was sort of saying that, hey, there's a big game coming out, but they own a lot of different gaming studios, so that's not a surprise. And sometimes it CFOs like to hide projected revenue. So yeah. Anyway, comment down below. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think this game is going to come out really soon? Am I an idiot? I hope I'm wrong. Like, I honestly hope I'm wrong. I really want to play this game. But I have a feeling, I reckon Project 007 will come out before this, which is a bit of a worry. Yeah, but hey, that's what it is. Hit the like button if you haven't. If you've got a friend that likes Perfect Dark, shoot it to them. It's an extra review for me, so that helps. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm now going to edit this up. I'm going to cut this up. And then, we're getting pretty late here. We got 9:20. I was planning on watching the F1s tonight, but in Australia it's like at 4 in the morning, so that's not going to happen. So I'm going to edit this up. I'm out of here. Bye.